Hey, one and all, welcome to another comics read through. We are doing the third story in this Transmute book, and it is, if I can get to it, Tuesday's Wake. In Tuesday's Wake. This will be my first time reading it, so I hope everybody enjoys it. Kid playing a guitar guy. It's like a bug under your skin, a persistent itch that burned until it was scratched, and once you scratched until you bled. ITW. It was an escape. A tree house with a no girls allowed sign. It was our hideaway, sanctuary for our worn hearts and souls. Without ITW, no one would have paid any attention to us three. On stage, we yelled about the girls who always shot us down and have them be standing there listening. How's that for a power trip? For me, it was a place to make noise, a place to come and vent about the wrongs that teenage society threw in my face, and I stuck it to the squishy back-cornered high school teen squad asses that never gave us a second glance. To hell with them and all their friends, and we gave it to them. We were brothers joined together to make something of ourselves in a town that takes away from its citizens. And when the lights go back on, she had a knife in her chest. Whoa, shit, crazy! If I could find you now. I was sick of playing alone in the basement. Urine and I met in band class. We play covers until we get skills to write our own songs. Like Blink 182 or Sum 41. Yeah! Choosing the guitar player is critical. They are the lifeblood, the life essence, and the apertures of certain criteria had to be met. Music tastes need to be similar enough to establish a common base, but different enough that each player is unique. Video games are another commonality. When you see an alien, shoot it, and when there's a chest, loot it. Urine's basement became our kingdom. As kings, we ruled, constructed, and conquered. It was glorious. I always have been. I always have been. I always will be. The first time we jammed, it clicked. The symmetry of rhythm and patterns. We knew when to get louder and when to let off. Improvisations for solos and the timing to jump back to the driving beats. It was all there. Now, what do you think Steinbeck is doing with the use of the symbol? Do you think it is a critique on society or the nature of the heart? Anyone? Tobin? Schools offer time to pen lyrics we've been playing for a few months. We wanted something that is our own, a piece of us, not regurgitation of someone else's work. Steinbecker utilizes the pearl as a symbol to represent society. Care to elaborate for the class? Pearls are formed from the nuisance of a grain or of sand causes in oysters. Kino and his family were that grain of sand in society. They were poor, weak, and uneducated. They were expected to be trodden under the feet of the rich, rather than accept this placement, grow into something worthwhile through their hard work. Like an oyster making a pearl, Kino jumped up the rings of society with the discovery of the pearl. Angry with his society, punished Kino and his family, killing the baby. It's selfish bastard society, not the baby. Wonderful analysis. You'd all do better if you interpret it like that. Bass. We need bass. It'll make our sound thicker. Remember all those rules about choosing a guitar player? Bass players only have one. Play bass. Nothing fancy. Some covers. We're working on our own stuff. You'll get there. Just go with the flow. It was rough at first, but like the skipping of a record, it smoothed out to produce a decent sound, a sound we could mold and craft. Our sound. The bomb ticks down, then explodes. When the dust settles, his face is totally burnt off. Holy shit! Dude, that you watched messed up TV? Sorcerer Supreme. Twinkie Dream. No, it has to mean something. It can't be a throwaway. Dial up constipation? Do you have pills for that? When do you work? Tonight. I'll have to jam tomorrow. We jam in Tuesday's wake. In Tuesday's wake. When the time came to really dig into original tracks, the creation process was something like a pregnancy. We each got moody, overly irritable, and had odd cravings. Urin told us when he played he heard melodies and notes as snarls of color that danced around. Different colors represented different tones. notes, volumes, even distortion. The mood of the song came to him, and he played until all the colors lined up and became synchronized. Like the big five of Russian composers, he pulled from the guitar pop punk symphonies. Drums were a separate beast. I didn't see colors or swirls. For me, the music was arithmetic, I'm not sure. Arthritic counts and beats, patterns and rhythms, segments of verse connecting to stretches of choruses, a bridge plunked in and tied back to the chorus. It was mathematics. A blueprint, Tetris blocks, Lego bricks. My favorite was the driving patterns, those little gaps between a chromes and the next verse where I could let loose. It was like shoving a needle into my arm and thumping the plunger down, giving my brain all the chemicals it needed to get me smiling. Like, line up the segments, make them connect and synchronize with what urine sees. Simple as that. Once the basic blocks were laid out, then you spice it up with fills. There were a lot of fun things to do. The bells on the cymbals made for an interesting sounding fills. We never knew if Brett saw anything when he played. He may have just been thinking about that last burrito he ate. Either way, there was bass in our songs, and Brett kept life more on the humorous side, kept us laughing. In time, we had enough original songs to record our own EP, recorded in Urine's basement, and on those cold nights when I'm by myself, I put on my thinking cap and heart on the shelf. I don't know whether that's how it's meant to sound, but okay. We sold them to kids at school for $5. Oh, just by the way, you just lost the game. Got us enough attention, and then some doors started opening for us. Mrs. Birthday for us. Birthday parties, battle of bands, and some other small gigs. But the mother of all was the big kahuna, Bridgefest. Playing this show on this stage, it felt like we had arrived, and guess in a sense we did. The cool thing about music, the thing people don't realize, is that anyone can do it. Some may be way better than others. There were a lot of other bands in our town. Didn't stop us. Because the dream isn't just playing in a band. It isn't jamming. The dream that pulls people to the art of music is the pleasure, the organism that comes from procreating something that is your own thing. I've been waiting for you so long, waiting to tell you what went wrong. I've been sorry for so long, sorry for the thing that I did wrong. And in creating that thing, you are bound to it forever. A wise man said, bands are extremely married. It's true because what you bring into existence is so precious and sacred that to part ways means orphaning the creation into the ether of nothingness, left in the dark and distant pages of MySpace. Make everything in life a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. The end. Well, that is the end of that one. Next week, most likely, will be Thirst, unless I... actually, you know what? It will be... No. Unless I get my Lone Star, it'll be Thirst. But if I get my Lone Star, I will do try and do it. So, there. Story 3 from Transmute. I hope you enjoyed. And remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell. All that wonderful stuff. Bye for now. God bless.